All right, YouTube, we're back with another episode of the Reality Check YouTube channel. We've got some more controversy going on, like always. For all of you that haven't heard, yesterday the social media influencer Andrew Tate was detained in Romania for alleged crimes involving women. Of course, for those of you that don't know who he is, we're going to kind of dive into what he's all about and let you guys kind of make up your own mind, give you a little more information as far as what he's all about and what I am kind of seeing, reading between the lines. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into this one. Oops, wrong timing. Whoops. Okay, here we are. We're on his. We're going to start out over here on his Twitter page, basically, and he's basically a social media influencer, right? Who is trying to teach young men how to be men instead of being little sissy boys like most of society's trying to turn them into today, seemingly. That's the intent on the surface, but we're going to kind of dive in and see what he's actually saying for himself and let you guys make up your own mind. So first, we'll start off with his little pinned tweet right here.
Armies go to war with machines. The world is influence. It's always been about influence. Pitched battles in which armies go to war with machines of death and destruction is about nothing more than influence, controlling the land to influence it, to tell them what language to speak, to tell them what currency to use, to tell them who to vote for. It's always been about influence. The battle for control, the battle for information, people think it's a small one. Oh yeah, they control the information, but it doesn't matter, it's just a website. No, because the information influences you. And battles for influence are the only reason there's been battles since the dawn of human time. We're now living in a world where there is endless battle ongoing for your mind. They're trying to control what you see. If they control what you see, they can control what you think, and they can influence you. Once they can influence you, they can control you. Every single thing that exists out there inside of the Matrix is done so with a purpose. They don't give you the news for free because they want you to be informed. They give you the news for free because they want you to watch it so they can tell you what to think. Every class you learn in school, every TV program you watch, every website you find, all of them are created to keep your mind inside of a box. Because by keeping you inside of a box, they can keep you broke. And when they keep you broke, you must adhere to society's rules and laws, even if you know they're unfair, so you have enough money to eat. This is how they control you. When I talk about the Matrix and escaping it, when I talk about the real world, I'm not talking just about being able to give you real information. I'm not talking about a system which exists completely outside of the Matrix, our own servers, our own banks, our own payment processors, our own constructs that prevent the Matrix from shutting us down. I'm also talking about a way for you to earn money in ways they don't tell you. When's the last time you've sat with any of the Matrix approved systems, any school, any TV program, any financial planner, and they told you exactly how to make money? They don't tell you that because once you're rich, you're free. And this is why they cannot have you earning money. This is why you must stay inside of your fucking box. This is the whole point of all of it. The real world is something that I have built. It's something I was planning for a very long time, and after they canceled me, I accelerated my plans. The real world uses its own servers hidden beneath the mountain. Armed guards defend them. The real world has its own processing power, its own banks. The real world cannot be shut down, it cannot be censored, it cannot be stopped. They cannot tell me what I can say. The information is truly free. And this is how I will teach you how to make money in ways you have never heard of before, never seen before, and will never find access to these tools and this information anywhere else on the planet. We're in the middle of a cultural shift. One of the biggest mistakes they ever made was banning me. This annoyed God, because God knows the truth in my heart. He knows I do not lie. God is on my side. Elon now has control of Twitter and is opening up people's minds to free information. Meta as a company is tanking. Mark Zuckerberg went from the 3rd richest man in the world to the 29th richest man in the world. YouTube stock is down. Rumble, where I am, the stock is up. People are starting to understand if you want the truth, you have to go to other platforms, and other platforms are starting to prosper all across the internet. Information is becoming free again. Influence is diversifying. The Matrix is cracking. And if you want to escape, I'm waiting for you inside of the real world.
Okay, well, basic takeaway from there is this guy's does have an ego issue, right? It's pretty obvious, but a lot of the things he say are actually kind of relevant considering what the history we've been kind of living through with the. You guys have seen it all on social media and the actual media too, right? So we're just gonna keep on scrolling along here. It's basically one that Elon posted that he retweeted. What if I told you the only way to escape the matrix is to unlearn everything that you have been taught and rebuild your entire belief system based on critical thought and analysis? Sounds an awful lot like Think for Yourself, right? This is his latest one from 12 hours ago, right? It says the Matrix sent their agents. For those of you that don't know, like I said at the beginning of the episode of the show here, he was arrested and brought under charges in an obvious raid, not fairly reminiscent of the Mar-a-Lago raid or the Roger Stone raid, where you've got armed guards kind of breaking in for a show, basically a show arrest, a perp walk. I don't know if the accusations made. Here's another thing that's kind of where this whole thing starts to get fishy, is there were 6 women. And for those of you that have been kind of paying attention to the whole numbers thing behind a lot of this stuff, it sounds like code talk to me. Now I can expand upon that because the whole thing kind of blew up yesterday. Let's scroll down his page here a little bit. Yesterday, he got into a little Twitter fucking spat with everybody's favorite little crybaby Greta Thunberg from the Green New Deal, right? It says, "Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti, 33. That's a notable number for you guys in the know, right? My Bugatti has a 8-liter quad turbo engine, 2 Ferrari, blah blah blah. This is just the start." Asking her to please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions. Basically, calling her out for being a climate nutcase, right? And you guys really, if you had the ability to get on here and look at this guy's page, because there's all kinds of craziness going through here. He's there's another one down here. He's basically kind of like trying to set himself up to be like a motivational speaker for young men, but in the same breath, he's also fairly exploitive towards women too, in a large way. Cut from a different cloth, that's for sure. Let's see. He's basically giving life advice for fucking young entrepreneurs who, see him as a role model and all this stuff, right? But here it is again, right? On December 27th, this was what would have been 3 days ago. I have 33 cars. Why even bring that up? Why that specific number? Well, for those of you that know, you don't really talk about that publicly if you can keep from it. Let's see. I've got another video here I'd like for you guys to kind of see, give a little more context. This is him talking about his father's history, okay?
Like even my father, a lot of people say, oh, I know this guy, he's really smart, or I know this guy has a photographic memory. No, and I'm not just saying this because he's my dad. When you've met true supreme intelligence, I've never met anybody else in the world who had the level of intelligence he had.
So like when you're like a grandmaster at chess, like Fischer chess, which my understanding is that they just scramble up all the pieces and you just look at the board.
Yeah.
He could pretty much beat anyone in the world.
Yeah, it's more than even that. It's more just like the ability to supremely recall information. When I was with my father, if he needed your phone number, he'd ask, what's your phone number? And you'd say it once, and that was it for the rest of his life. He didn't have to write it down. You tell him an address, that was it for the rest of his life. He never wrote anything down. He never had to repeat anything to him. My father, when he died, someone messaged me because my father was in the CIA.
Did you catch that? Let me back it up and say that again.
Father was in the CIA. He held.
There's your takeaway, right? His father is a chess player, right? Let's put the pieces together. We've got 6 women alleging that he did some bad things, and he may have. I don't know. I don't have any evidence either way. Right? Okay, so we've got a 6. We've got a 33, and his father was in the CIA, right? Now, logic would dictate to me that perhaps this is something that is a family tradition, because if you have that kind of control over one person, it would make logical sense that if you're going to recruit, people would want to recruit people that have lived the same or in the same bloodline or same lifestyle, right? So, don't have any evidence to draw the conclusion of that. It's just really, really fishy, right? Now, one thing that I've left out of this, this Andrew Tate guy calls himself Top G, right? You would think, just hearing that and taking it innocently, he thinks he's a top G or a gangster or something like that, right? Is it kind of a term of endearment or a term of arrogance to make him sound like he's hot shit, right? Well, there's also this, the top G, right? So you put all the symbology together, and I guess you need to make up your own mind as far as that goes, right? These are just things that stuck out to me in my mind, just knowing what everybody else is saying, and as I kind of started researching and stuff. Is it relevant? I think every bit of this information is relevant. But here's the kicker, right? For the last 2 days consecutively on this platform, they've got on here now what they call these little live chat rooms, right? They're called Twitter Lives or something like that. I don't know exactly what they're called, but you can go into these little chat rooms and you can get tens of thousands of people in the same chat room, all listening to speakers, a certain number of speakers talk about certain issues, right? Well, for the last 2 days, this has been the only thing that the majority of these people have been talking about, right? In my mind, this is a look over here and watch what's happening with this guy who's the influencer, right? Instead of paying attention to what's going on at home. Now, here's where I drew that conclusion from. Go over here and look at all the information dropping, right? You got information on the sickness, right? Go to my Twitter page. I'll put it down in the dang description again. I've just been basically retweeting stuff that sticks out like a sore thumb. Draw from it what you will. I'm just pointing out things that stick out and smell funny to me, right? Let's see, where's it at? This was him a few months ago. Let's go ahead and listen to this one.
3 stages. They attack you, your character, and cancel you.
Start over here.
It's the most common tactic in the world. First, they insult your character and attack you. It's stage 1 of the 3 stages. They attack you, your character, and cancel you. They put you in jail for something you did not do. And the last is they kill you. And I'll make it very clear here, I would never kill myself under any circumstances, ever. Ever. And I like to think that if anybody sees a media article where I've been locked up for whatever it is, they're going to look at it and go, this is bullshit. Tate didn't do that. With the scrutiny I'm under, does anyone think I'm breaking the law? I'm the most scrutinized man on the planet. Like, if I was breaking laws, I'd be in jail. Trust me. I drive at the speed limit, my friend. That's the level it's got to. Like, they think I'm out here doing bad things. So when an article comes out saying Tate did this, I just pray there's enough people who are outside of the matrix to sit and go, this is some bullshit. And he doesn't deserve this, because I don't deserve it, because I will be innocent. It's the most common tactic in the world. First, say.
Okay, so he's basically saying a lot of the same things we've heard a lot of these other famous people say, like Kanye, like Prince back in the day. All these kind of types, right? Basically saying the same sort of thing. You gain too much influence and you start talking out against the thing, the thing you're not supposed to talk about, right? Voldemort. And what do? They try to cancel you, right? But like I was saying, all this controversy is coming out at the same time. You got Robert Kennedy calling out the sickness stuff. You got all these doctors coming out calling out all the sickness stuff, right? Trump's tax returns coming out all at the same time, right? And there's a big one coming down here. Not to mention, don't forget Ghislaine Maxwell and the Epstein client list. None of those guys were ever brought up, haven't been brought up for years, right? But they're going after this guy because he's speaking out against the control mechanism, right? And you got all kinds of crap coming out on Fauci. It's all over this platform if you just start looking for it. You've got basically the same, almost the same time frame allegations coming out against Steven Tyler for sexual assault of a minor, right? And here's the big one everybody missed. So while everybody's talking about the Tate brothers, this is what happened. He signed a $1.7 trillion omnibus bill. There's another 17. There's a lot of truth in this numerology. It's all connected. It's all a damn, it's a psyop is what this crap is. It's one big stinking psyop. And there's this guy, this Matt Couch fellow here, he put up a poll when trying to see, is this guy guilty or innocent? I just said he's glowing. It sticks out like a sore thumb. And they say the squeaky wheel grease, and I think that's a lot of what's gone on here. You guys give me your thoughts in the comments down below and tell me what you're thinking, because the whole thing seems really fishy. And one more thing that I want to bring up here is this right here. If you live in the state of Illinois, this is something you really need to know. The counties that are, at least for now, exempt from the Safety Act's requirements to end cash bail. We wonder how many criminals are out here looking at this same graph right now, right? Take a look at where you live out in the state. Okay, if you're in yellow, you're still good. If you're in the pink, you better be locking your doors at night. Okay, you better be locking your doors at night, because there's nothing to stop these people. There's no consequences. And if you think there's not a bunch of criminals running around this state, you haven't lived in the state very long. Okay, down the lower half of the state, it's fairly rural, and people are pretty much on the up and up. Even though there's crackheads running around and stupid people running around a lot of places, but for the most part, most of the people are on the up and up. But the further north you go, the screwballier it gets, and everybody's lived here knows it. It's a kind of an open secret. So that being said, you've got the state divided as far as what is constitutional and what's not. These yellow counties have got judges that have determined that what the governor has done is unconstitutional, which in my opinion is the correct judgment. Only a fool would release violent criminals without bail. I mean, it's almost like they want more people getting hurt. It's almost like they're not on the side of law and order. They're on the side of chaos and disorder, right? This is just something I wanted y'all to kind of be aware of. Not to freak anybody out or nothing, but to think logically and behave logically. If I lived in one of these counties, and even if you don't, there's one surrounding every single one you live in, right? What's to stop some, yeah, that just because they might, you just don't know. You don't know. And so behave appropriately. With that being said, those are just some of the quick things I wanted to go over with you guys as far as what's happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. It's been kind of a holiday weekend, and the timing on this is just superb, because with this Tate guy, they were supposedly monitoring him like they are all of us. Don't crap yourself. They are watching everything that you post on social media and everything that you say. They're going to watch this video at some point. Somebody's going to screen it, and somebody's, there's always somebody looking at anything you post online, and you just got to be really, really aware of it, and realize we do live in a police state. After the Patriot Act, they've been recording and monitoring everything that's done online, right? So don't give them any ammo. Don't be going out here and I'm guilty of it as anybody's airing my grievances online, trying to say, hey, what I'm saying is stupid. It shouldn't be going down this way. It goes against basic logic, right? They can turn around and use that on you as a weapon. So just be aware of it. Don't let your mouth overload your butt, right? But yeah, I mean, it's kind of nuts. Go back full screen here, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of run that by some of you guys and tell me what you think. If you're from that state, let me know in the comments and let me know what you think. And if you're in one of those counties where they're going to do the cash bail, I would recommend getting on the phone and talking to your local county governments and explaining to them that what's going down, and that you really don't appreciate it. And in the meantime, till you can get somebody to stand up for you, you're gonna have to stand up for yourselves, because the government's not here to stand up for you. The government's here to control you. Until more people realize that, things are only going to continue, I think, to go down the path they're going down, and it's only going to end up getting more stupid, more crazy. But with that being said, I'm going to cut this one off, and like I always say, keep your head on a swivel, because there's crap happening all the time. We live in an age where information is being manipulated and used to control people. That's one of the points I agree with the Tate brothers on, right? People are being manipulated by social media and the mainstream media, and they're either trying to steer you to one extreme or the other, and by doing that, they're trying to point people back at each other, so that the puppet master in the background just gets away scot-free. And people need to be aware of it so that they're not as easily manipulated by it. But with that being said, like I said, keep your head on a swivel. Look out for your neighbors, because when it comes down to it, Uncle Sam's not going to save you. Uncle Sam's here to control you. But like I say, stay safe out there. You live in one of those counties, start locking your doors at night. I know some of you old farts that are just dead set and live out in there in these rural areas don't. There's still a lot of people I know in that generation that don't do it because they don't think they have anything to worry about, and that makes you a soft target. Don't be a soft target. Be smart. And what's the worst thing that happens by doing that? And you leave yourself vulnerable. You can't claim that you're some kind of victim because you chose to have blind faith in the rest of society. People are being radicalized out here with this social media crap daily. You don't know what's going through some of these people's minds, or whether they're losing their minds, or whether they're just out here with their heads up their butts and don't know which way is up either way. So, smart plan is to take care of your local communities and look out for the people around you as best you can, and stay safe. But until next time, I'll quit rambling, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.